Now on Inside the Tournament, the $1 million goal scorer from U.S. Women last year, Talia Dellaperuta. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about TST, about that goal, and so on and so forth. But where are you right now? What's your life look like today?
Yeah, so I'm in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. I just signed for Feyenoord this summer for 2 years, so currently loving it here so far.
When they reached out to you, were they like, hey, we saw your TST reel, we saw that big goal, or was it all independent of that?
No, I mean we were in contact beforehand, but we did jump on a Zoom meeting and they were like, "We saw all over social media that tournament looked crazy. Congrats!" So it was really cool that it reached beyond the U.S. for sure.
So this was your first experience playing in TST last year, correct? You didn't play on the first year?
Yeah, no, the first year I was still at UNC and college players, it was undecided if we were allowed to play or not. So I was actually a part of the US women's TST team still that year prior. I was the videographer and social media person. So
Oh,
I still got
wow.
to be a part of the whole experience.
That's great. So what was your first playing experience like overall?
Yeah, I mean, just to start out, it was the best week of my life. Definitely, yeah, getting to play was a lot different than being the social media person. So just being able to be on the field in front of the crowds, playing with some incredible women footballers. Yeah, I mean, it was just really special and got to play the game that I love. So it was great.
What was your relationship like with, Allie Krieger, Heather O'Reilly prior to that tournament, like the stars?
Yeah, well, Heather O'Reilly was actually my assistant coach at UNC for a little bit, and yeah, she really became a mentor for me and just super incredible person that I could talk to and look up to. And obviously, beforehand, I had looked up to her and watched her play for the national team. Same with Mia Hamm, yeah, I really idolized her. And so when she came to UNC, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get to just feed off of her wisdom and learn everything that I could from her. And yeah, she was great. So worked really closely with her at UNC, formed a really good relationship, and that's actually how I got to be a part of the first year's TST on her team, and then as well as the second year, she asked me to be a part of it. So Heather was the biggest driving force behind it. So very grateful to her to have been able to be a part of that experience. But everybody else, I had no prior connection to. So yeah, showing up on the first day, it's pretty nerve-wracking to see some of those names on the list and be like, I'm going to be on the same field in the same room as these legends. What is that going to be like?
So there was a lot of youth on the team between you, your sister, Tessa, who
Yes.
was a key factor in the team. How
Yeah.
quickly into like TST practice did you realize, okay, we got to utilize our youth here as much as we can?
Yeah, I mean, when you go into it, you're like, okay, these women are incredible players. They had amazing careers that we all aspire to have. And the first training, it was okay. Speed of play was maybe not as great, and obviously after the first game, we lost. And honestly, a lot of like for me especially, I was like kind of not feeling like our chances were that great. I mean, we were playing against another women's team and we lost. And I think after that first game, I think is when the coaches realized for sure, like, I think we should play the younger players a little bit longer. But meanwhile, still respecting obviously the older players and everything that they had to offer because they still were huge in every single win along the way. So yeah, I would say probably after that first game is when they kind of relied on us a little bit more.
Had you ever played on a stage that big? And I know you played at UNC, and obviously there was huge moments there, but like these games, coverage on ESPN, you got Pat McAfee running up and down the field. Like, did that feel different for you than anything you'd done before?
I I think a lot of things felt a lot different because it was 7v7, playing with a brand new group of girls. The atmosphere was different. So there were a lot of things that were different. I wouldn't say that I felt overwhelmed with the atmosphere or that like it was something that I'd never been around before. So not so much that. I do think it was really cool how easily accessible the games were though. Like all of my family from back at home, all of my friends, everybody was able to tune into every game and that honestly was like the biggest like difference from what I'd experienced before because before, it's always like, how can we watch your games? What channel do we need to subscribe to? Like what other membership do we need to pay for? So like this was so nice that like anybody could just jump on and watch whatever game they wanted to across the entire tournament.
Well, let's talk about the moment, the $1 million goal. Obviously, right place, right time for you. There was 3 goals scored in that game by your team, and you had the $1 million one. Take me through. You get the ball, you realize what could happen, and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I just had checked in too. Like I had just subbed in, so that was my first touch on the ball, like after being on the bench. So I came in and yeah, I was just like on the front foot, ready to press, like ready to go. Like I knew we needed a goal. And yeah, I saw that pass come across and it was almost like, is this like real? Like like the ball was coming right across the frame of the goal. And so the girl that I was defending, she clearly didn't know what was going on either with that pass. So I just was the first one to react to it and I received on the end of it. And I actually received it with my left foot first. And then I realized that the goal was actually the keeper closed off a good amount of the goal after I received with my left foot. So then I took a diagonal touch with my right foot to put it back on my left. And then I saw that the near post was just wide open. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the near post is wide open. And like that's all that I thought. And I just struck it cleanly with my left foot. And when I saw it go in, oh my gosh, it was the craziest moment of my life. Like every emotion that a person could feel, I felt in that moment. Like just so much excitement, pride, joy, like redemption, everything. Like I was just so incredibly happy and to be able to celebrate and share that moment with like icons of the game and with my sister, like everything was just perfect. It was perfect.
That's amazing. I apologize. There was 5 goals scored by you all in that game, not 3. So you were
Yes.
the fifth and final goal, which obviously a ton of emotions. I need to apologize because I run TST Social and we took that picture of you crying and put it everywhere. But
Dude, that was you.
it
Oh
was
my
me and it was all of us because that was an amazing picture. The one from broadcast, the ones on the field. I mean, that's an incredible picture.
Yeah, I will never be able to live that picture down, that's for sure. Everyone has that saved and screenshotted in whatever file.
It was the perfect picture because it was you emotional up top and then below US women champions. So it was like the
Yeah.
perfect we had to use it. But I apologize that we
Yeah,
went
no,
we went crazy
I
with it.
understand.
But how many texts did you get after that goal?
Oh my gosh, my phone was blowing up, but I just tried to be in the moment with my team and my sister and really celebrate everything that that meant because it wasn't just like that goal in the moment and it was amazing and that tournament like that goal had a lot more behind it on why there were so many emotions from me. So yeah, just super grateful to be in that environment and be able to make a difference for my team and yeah, ultimately win the whole thing. That's what we went there to do and it felt amazing that I was able to contribute in that way.
Just got a couple more questions for you before I get you out of here.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, there was a prize after the goal. Some money. You got a nice
Yeah.
check. There's those great videos of Heather handing out the checks to everyone. I know you probably saved a lot of the money and invested, et cetera, but what was your one like, all right, I'm the freaking $1 million goal scorer. I'm getting this for myself.
You know, I have a really lame answer. I I haven't bought anything like extremely expensive or anything. I know I had a talk with my parents and a financial advisor and decided that for what I wanted, it was the best decision just to invest all of it. And I think that's going to pay me back hugely when I'm ready to retire and start a career and have a family. So yeah, for me, that feels incredible to be able to have that money at 22 um, yeah, to just have that set up the rest of my life. I mean, it really is life-changing money. So for me, that is a huge purchase and investment, and I'm very happy with that.
All right, last question for you. In
Yeah.
addition to the Mia Hams, the Allies, the Heathers, on the women's side,
Yep.
on the men's side, there were some big soccer stars as well. So, men's or women's side, what moment were you the most starstruck at during TST? Was there a player that you walked by or talked to or a group that you saw, or were you not starstruck?
Um, No, it definitely was. Just walking around. I honestly didn't get to speak to many of the men's players. I feel like our timing of games were very separate from theirs, which was nice because then we had like our own crowds and everything, and it was people were able to focus on us. But honestly, most of my starstruck like came from just like my own teammates. Like when Mia Hamm was giving like pregame talks, or Ali Krieger was giving me advice on things to do on the field, or I could just go up to her and ask her questions and like. Allie Long, she sent a long ball in our first TST training, and I was like, wow, like that was like perfect technique right on our winger's foot. And so honestly, like the whole week, I just was impressed by yeah, the group of women that I was able to be surrounded by, and I feel like I really took advantage of like asking questions and gaining like wisdom and knowledge from people that I look up to and want to be like.
Anything else from TST that we didn't cover that you think is worth talking about or worth mentioning? How was the party after you guys won? Like
Yeah.
what did we not cover?
Yeah, I mean, we all went back to Heather's house and just everybody was there. We celebrated, and Heather was actually gifted like a gold bottle of tequila, I think. So like that was really cool. It was like another like trophy of the week, and yeah, I mean, Heather's just awesome. She's like the coolest person I know. Like so fun to be around, and especially when you win, like all these women are have won huge titles, World Cups, Olympics, and they still like celebrated and like were so happy about the win all together after TST. So it just felt really cool to be able to be in that environment and celebrate with them. And like I said, to have contributed in the way that I did, it was really special. Well, you were gonna mention about being back at Wake Med, right, from
Yeah.
the college days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
so
was
that
that?
yeah, that was definitely a huge factor of the emotional response to the goal. I've had some really, really hard losses on that field at Wake Med. So I'm used to driving into that place and just being like, wow, they have had some really hard losses, hard moments to swallow. Have had to leave these fields in tears and just feeling absolutely defeated. So yeah, to change the story and make that field like our field now, and we had such a great memory. And like I said, best week of my life. I will always remember now Wake Med for being the place where we won TST and I scored the $1 million goal, and getting to celebrate that with my sister as well from being at UNC and going through those hard losses together, and then on the flip side, getting to celebrate with her on what we accomplished. And now we made that field, like I said, ours, and that new memory.
Well, that's amazing. Sounds like to me, regardless of outcome, you leave Wake Med crying based on
Yes,
the
exactly.
pictures that came out of that
It's
last
just
game.
how it works.
But I mean, I hope you guys get back out there, go for another million. It was great watching you all play, and hope to see you back out on the pitch again this June.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you so much. It truly was an amazing tournament, and you guys did a great job, and I'm excited to see how it expands and continues to grow.
We got some big things coming, so everyone
Yeah, I
listening,
don't doubt
stay
it.
tuned. But
That's awesome.
thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.